All right. It's nice to be here. Nice to be in this club. You seem like a young, attractive crowd, so... And you clearly know it, so that's nice. All right, now, in this millennial world of identity politics, I should introduce myself properly. My name is Dane Baptiste. My pronouns are he and him. And, And I slap back, so... I would definitely do. I slap back. Just so you know, I slap back. Now, it's been a tough week for black comedians and black comedy and black entertainers in general. It's been tough for me because one of the reasons I do comedy is because of Chris Rock. Yeah. But I'm also bald, so I'm kind of in the middle there. You know, it's that's the thing, like, you got two people that work in comedy, you're supposed to deal with those kind of disputes with comedy. Like, people make jokes about my hair all the time, like, look at your hairline, look at your shaved head. And I'm like, my head is shaved and well-traveled like your mum's pussy. So, that normally works. I gotta be honest, man, for me, no excuse. You know why? Because Will Smith gets 20 million a fucking film. Just take it to Turkey and get a hair transplant if it bothers you that much. And I don't just mean like a Donald Trump, Wayne Rooney hair transplant. I mean like a Kanye West, Andros Townsend hair transplant. Like a really good one. Top of the line. Rolls Royce toupee, that's what you need to get. Because, you know, I'm not there yet, you know. I'm not getting 20 million. I'm not know if I'm even getting 20 for this show. But I'm just saying that, like, if it's a real problem, you got the money to solve that shit. I ain't got that kind of tax bracket to get the kind of hair transplant I want. Because people always say to me, hey, Dane, you got money now, why don't you get a hair transplant? And it's for the same reason that I don't eat vegan cheese. Technology's not there yet. I'm sorry. It's not there yet. I don't want to come back from Turkey and like the front of my head looks like I got like ant pubes on the front, you know? Towards a time when, you know, and I feel like it's a shame, I guess, and this is crazy for me to say this, like, when black guys go bald, there might be the one time we have privilege over white guys. Because like a lot of bald black guys, like, you know, like I said, like Michael Jordan, he's bald, everyone loves him. Dave Chappelle's bald, everyone loves him, right? Like, normally when you're a white guy and you're bald, people think that you're old, racist, sick, Phil or Grant Mitchell. So it's like, you know, it can be, it's much tougher for them. It's tongue. Glad you went with that, guys, because sometimes when people hear privilege, they get very uptight. Last 2 years has been very tense about people trying to work out who has the most privilege. Luckily for you, I've done the work for you. The way I worked out who has the most privilege is when I found out a story involving OnlyFans. Now, OnlyFans... Okay, well, don't just cheer, just ask her for a fucking act. What's going on here? You don't go, you go, how can I subscribe, please? OnlyFans is a cool thing. I think the only people losing out with OnlyFans would be pimps, because now women can just do it at home. Because remember there used to be a saying, you can't make a hoe into a housewife. Well, now you can have a house hoe. So now there's a compromise there. Which is cool, you know. Now, the thing about the whole OnlyFans thing is, I was in the States last week, not bragging, just saying. And I found out a story about a lady called Stephanie Motta, and she was on a reality show. When she left the reality show, she opened up an OnlyFans account, and she started selling her farts in a jar to men with a fetish. Now, sir, you're looking at me like that cannot be true. It definitely is true, sir. It really is. There's a woman out there was selling farts in a jar. And that's not even the crazy part. She was making 100 grand. She made 100 grand in 1 month selling farts in a jar. Now, some of you are cheering, but there are women in here right now that are on dates with guys that have been holding in farts since 5 p.m. Even some of you, you think I'm funnier than I am, but you can't get too loose because you know, you'll be like, oh. What was that? Oh. Some of you have been popping Senecots all evening just to stop the farts coming out. Did you know you were sitting on a gold mine this whole time, lady? 100 grand from farts in a jar. So once Stephanie realizes she can make 6 figures a month from selling her farts in a jar, well, she goes Scarface with her bum, pushing it to the limit. She's eating refried beans, baked beans and stuff. It's a true story. What happens is, she ends up having a coronary and has to go to the hospital because she's been straining herself from trying to fart so hard. Now you see that, ladies? You know, you think about, I could never be a stripper or do an OnlyFans or do porn, because what would my parents think? They might not be happy about that, but imagine the phone call when they're like, hello, is this Mr. Motta Senior? It is, yes. We have some news about your daughter. Nah, I've heard about the OnlyFans. We're working through it. Yeah, she'd be farting in jars. That's not even the worst part, sir. She's gone too far with that too, and so... And so, I must say, to the white women in the room, currently clutching your bellies, trying to remain prim and proper, you have the most privilege, or second most privilege in society, if you can make 6 figures from selling farts in a jar. If you can sell farts in a jar, it's hard for you to complain about the patriarchy. I'm sorry, guys. Now, remember, I said second most privilege. You know who has the most privilege? The men that were buying farts in a jar. Come on, guys, what the fuck are we doing here? I'll be honest, like, you know, I was like, straight white guys, like, everyone is ganging up on straight white men all the time. You get paid too much, you pieces of shit, we can't trust you. And I know that's not every single white guy. And I was like, you know, they can't all be that bad. Now you're that bad. You can't talk about a wage gap being a lie if you're paying for farts in a jar, guys. Robin Williams used to say, if you do cocaine, that's nature's way of saying you're making too much money. I disagree. If you're buying farts in a jar, you're making too much money. And I know some of you are thinking, Dane, that's fair, but it can't just be white guys that are buying farts in a jar. There's no Asian man buying farts in a jar. Not when there's curry in the fridge. Black dudes aren't buying farts in a jar. Not when there's condensed milk in the cupboard. If I want farts in a jar, I won't have vegan cheese, I'll have regular cheese. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about OnlyFans. Me personally, I don't care what people do as long as they don't hurt anybody else. Because, you know, in this new world of online conversation, if you say the stuff I'm saying, people go, oh, you just want the ladies to love you. You know what you're doing? That's virtue signaling. You're just saying what women want to hear. What if your daughter was on OnlyFans? How would you feel then? I bet if your daughter was on OnlyFans, you'd blah, 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 blah. See, the thing is, I know women and I know men. And if my daughter, as a woman, was happy in her line of work, she has peace of mind, she's of sound mind and body and spirit, who the fuck am I to tell an adult how to live their lives? And you know why else? Because when you're a woman, it don't matter if your pussy is spread open on OnlyFans or you're working as a bin woman, men are still gonna go, can I fuck you please? What you're wearing don't make a fucking difference. Because men, we all have a secret fantasy that whenever we deal with women in commerce, we want the freebie. Anytime a woman is working in leisure or hospitality, men can't help themselves. Like any woman in here is a waitress, they can tell you. You go up to a bunch of guys and be like, can I refresh your drink? Can you refresh it with some pussy juice, please? That's what men are like. You could be an air hostess and be like, sir, can I fluff your pillow? Can you fluff these balls, please? So yeah, I wouldn't care if my daughter was on OnlyFans. You know why? Because at the end of the day, OnlyFans only works because people subscribe to OnlyFans. The women are like, these women have no morals. They only make money because of the people that pay them. And we know what men are like on OnlyFans. There's guys out there who'll be like, hey girl, do me a favor. Can you put on some white cotton panties and walk around your house for me? And maybe rub yourself on the banister of your stairs. Then take those same panties and put them in an envelope and send them to me, please. I'll give you 200 pounds. Well, let me tell you guys something. That's somebody's son. So you think about it, I'd rather my child take off her money, her clothes for money, than my child pay to sniff those clothes like some fucking perv. Think about it. Some guys you're out here being like, no, these girls are disgusting. Like, some guys want women to pee on them. Yeah, that's someone's dad. That's someone's cousin or uncle. And I understand, I kind of understand why, I understand how that dynamic works because men are visual creatures. That's all we kind of need. Women, like, OnlyFans wouldn't work as well unless it involved men, like, listening and empathizing with your feelings. For the £1, I'll tell you that your friend from work is a bitch. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Fuck Sadie, she's so stupid. I know, right? That'd be £1.98, please. That's right, men are very visual creatures in that respect. And, women, I guess, the feminine hemisphere of the brain gives you a higher emotional intelligence. Sometimes women look past the surface, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. I'll tell you, I was on a date with a lady, we went to the cinema. I'm a gentleman, so I'm buying the snacks, bought the tickets as you do, because I'm a gentleman. As I'm buying said snacks, 3 men must have pushed past my date rather briskly and brushed by her shoulder. Being the strong, independent woman that she was, she had a word with those men. She's like, excuse me, you just hit my shoulder. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why can't you be more careful like my date Dane? He's educated and sensitive, funny, and he actually respects women. Yeah, you might cheer, that is not useful in a fight. What the fuck you say that for? Can't you talk about some murders or something? Don't you care about me? I have found, though, that there are some instances where women can be more shallow than men. Now, I'm gonna come on stage and mansplain. Yeah, that's career suicide. But I'd like to ask all the ladies in here a question, and I'd like an honest answer. Now, before I say this, ladies, I want you to know, me, Dane Baptiste, I'm your friend out here. My job on this stage is to observe, never to judge. So I'd like to ask you all a question, and I'd appreciate an honest answer because I saw in my dentist's office on a magazine on the table that women like honesty. Yeah. I mean, the magazine also said that a woman left her husband for her stepson. But the point is, ladies, will you say you like honesty? Yeah! Yeah. Now, the thing is, I kind of believe you when you're saying it, but what I think is, what you mean by honesty is, I'd like to ask you a question. And if I don't get the answer that I want, there will be trouble. I say this because I went to a lady's house for dinner, because I'm a player, I guess. Don't hate me, hate the game, yeah? I went to this lady's house. She said, Dane, I've made you something to eat. Try it, tell me what you think, be honest. And I said, are you sure? And she said, of course I'm sure, you know I love you. So I tried the food, I was like, this is very nice, could use a little less salt. I thought that was relatively inoffensive. There's a lady here being like, you might as well have toe punted her in the pussy. How dare you, sir? How very dare you? She didn't like that shit either. She's like, how fucking dare you, Dane? I work too. I spent all day trying to take care of myself. Then I come home, slave over a hot stove with gas prices rising the way that they fucking are to make you something to eat, and you have the nerve to criticize my food. Get the fuck out my house, Dane. And you know me, I'm a man. I was like, hey, why don't you calm down, mum? You keep this shit up. I'm not coming back. You talk to me like that. Excuse you, madam. Can you imagine? I'm shaving my own mustache and everything. How dare you? All right. So now that we have that context, ladies, I'd like to pose a question to you. No judgment, and I would appreciate an honest answer. Do we have a deal, ladies? And when I say ladies, I mean both cis and trans women, okay? Because this week was Trans Awareness Week. Yeah. You make sure, show that love. Now, ladies, how many of the ladies in this room would be with a man 6 inches shorter than you are? Well. Wellity Wilson. All that time I spent on the internet, body positivity, celebrate everybody. Except for these disgusting dwarfs. Is that what we're saying, ladies? Well. There you have it, gentlemen. There you have it. Now, I made a promise to you, ladies. My job on stage is to observe, never to judge. And I understand a lot of the time women will gravitate towards tall men for genetic reasons. You want taller offspring because they're better predisposed to reproduce as well. And also the idea is that a tall man can keep you protected and safe. I disagree because guns and knives are available everywhere in London. Put a bullet in you, 6'6" pussy. Now you 5'10". What's up now, buddy? Now I know, ladies, you deal with a lot of double standards when it comes to dating. These might be one of the only things that women have as double standard. Discriminating against short partners and also talking about bisexual experiences and the outcome being positive. In the world we live in now, where we're trying to accept everybody on the sexuality spectrum, we're still not at a point yet where you being a bisexual man or a bi-curious man is accepted in society. Now, when you're a lady, there's some fantasy involved in that. Even with men, it's like, hey, I had a threesome. What, with 2 men or 2 women? 2 women. Well, not 2 men. That's not a threesome. That's a gay sex with a woman-shaped condom. That's what that is. Gay sex with a woman-shaped condom. That's what that is. Like, as a lady, you can be like, you know, I went to university in Manchester. I studied chemistry. I played varsity netball. And oh my God, I don't even have to tell you this. Once in a game of Truth or Dare, during Freshers Week, oh my God, this is so, I was there to go down on one of my friends, but I only licked her pussy like twice, and the guy would be like, this is the best story I've ever fucking heard. Yes, we will have dessert. We'll have 4 desserts. You keep talking. Men, we can't really do that. Lady, if you go on the ladies, you go on a date with a guy, tell me about yourself. You know, went to uni in Manchester, studied chemistry, I played a bit of rugby, and for initiation, it was mental. I sucked my friend's dick. She'd be like, what the fuck did you just say? Are you sure you're using the right dating app? Because you know there's all the different dating apps like Tinder for most couples and Grinders for gay men and lesbians have Just Eat. So if they don't have it, they should. That's how I feel. A lady, you'd be like, what the fuck do you mean you sucked his dick? Yeah, but I was getting initiated and I was drunk. No one has been that drunk. We can't use alcohol for an excuse in consent of any type. And I've been drunk before. Some of you are drunk right now. I've been so drunk. Once I left a nightclub and I went to a McDonald's drive-thru and I was like, yeah, let me get a chicken legend meal because you are what you eat. Papaya. Sometimes I'm cocky when I'm drunk. And they were like, sir, I'm afraid we can't serve you at this time. And I was like, why? Why don't you serve me? I got money. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just because I'm a black man in this British society? They were like, no, sir, I'm a homeless man and this is a cash point. And you are in a shopping trolley. Like, I've been that drunk before. I have been. But there's not enough alcohol to change sexuality. I've never been out with my friends and be like, you give me 1 more tequila, I'm gonna start sucking some dicks up in here. Jaeger bombs, more like Jaeger bombs. Don't say that shit. And, you know, it's the same thing with short partners. Let's take a lovely lady. Let's say that lady is 5'1", Lovely petite little thing, little pocket rocket right there. She goes on a date with a 6'4" guy. Society does not bat an eyelid. That's a good day in the dating game. The next day when she's at brunch with the homegirls, everyone's like, hey there, how'd the date go last night? She'd be like, it went very well. We made love and he picked me up while he was inside of me. And every girl in here be like, you lucky motherfucker, Susan. Why don't men pick women up while they're inside of them anymore? You're so lucky. Susan, you saucy minx. And that's how women call each other sluts, but in solidarity. Susan, you so saucy, you minx. That's right, then everyone drinks mimosas. It's a great fucking brunch. Now, let's say we take a gentleman, let's say he's 5'5". He goes on a date with a 5'8" lady. It's a very different conversation. Everyone's like, hey there, bro. How'd the date go last night? And he's like, yeah, it was all right. We did it. Yeah, we finally did it. And she picked me up while I was there. They'd be like, what the fuck did you just say? That's right. Just people just pouring mimosas on him, you fucking idiot. Get your shit together. Why are you getting picked up for? To breastfeed? There's a better way of getting antibodies, bro. That's stupid. Very, very silly, Dane. It's silly. It's very silly. In the spirit of Trans Awareness Week, I hope you're all taking the time to understand what other people have to go through in order to be themselves. Because, you know, I was old and ignorant, and when people used to tell me stuff like they were gender fluid, I thought that's just another word for cum. Like, I'm gender fluid. It's... Me, personally, I try to be a spiritual person, so as long as your spirit's good, I don't care who you are on the outside. That's me, personally. I like the idea of being gender fluid. I just want to know, let's say I want to change my gender, how much notice do I have to give? Because I'm not sure if you know, we're currently engaged in a proxy war with Russia and Ukraine. If they start doing drafting, the speed in which I will grow a pussy between my legs. Let's see the next recruit, Mr. Baptiste. I can't wait to go to war. You don't want me? Fine. Bye. That'll be me, boy. I can't wait. What's most fucked I've seen about the issue of the transgender community is the fact that J.K. Rowling has an issue with the trans community, which is more fucked, especially when you find out the reason why she goes by the names J.K. Rowling for the Harry Potter books is because they didn't think that people would buy a novel like that from a woman, so J.K. Rowling makes her sound more like a man. Now you want to turn around and complain about other people changing their gender when you got people turning into mice and dementors and people firing deers that look like sperm and clouds out of wands. You can't stretch your mind to think someone wants to change their gender. And I'm sorry, everyone, this whole, yeah, well, you know, they can come into toilets and abuse women. What do you think was stopping abuses before? Wooden doors? People get really, like, uncomfortable about, like, unisex toilets. How's that gonna work? The same way it does in your fucking house. Just saying, like, women not only shit, they put their farts in jars and sell it for money. Get your priorities in order. I don't know, man. Like, sometimes, you know, not everyone's supposed to be in a box. Not everything's supposed to be in a box, because we all know tomatoes are fruit, right? But you never see it in pies, or milkshakes, or as a type of margarita. So you say tomato, I say trans vegetable. It's just how that works now. You know? Oh, man. It's like, remember when salt and sugar were at opposite ends of the spice spectrum? Like, it was savory and sweet. They were like at polar opposites. Now we have salted caramel. That's like the gender fluid of spices. I wasn't there, but maybe salt turned to the other spices in the rack and was like, you know what, guys? I know that I'm a savory spice. I know that. Sodium chloride, that's me. But on the inside, I've always felt like I'm a sweet spice somewhere. And I'm ready to live my truth alongside my friends. Vanilla essence, nutmeg and cinnamon. And then one of the spices from the right was like, no fucking way. We're savory and they're sweet and the two should never mix. And Salt was like, why don't you shut the fuck up, curry powder? You don't know my life. Now some of you are like, is that the correct accent to use for curry powder? It is for me. Before I go and ask you all a question on the subject of ethnicity, see if you think like I do. Now, again, you remember my job on stage is to observe, never to judge, guys. So here's the question to all of you. When you're out on a date or with friends and you want to go to a restaurant with a particular ethnic cuisine, are you more likely to go in there if you see people from the same ethnicity in the window? This lady says no. How come no? Oh, you wouldn't care? You wouldn't mind? That's not the same as no. You wouldn't notice it? Because let me guess, you don't see color? Wait, hey, we were all thinking it. You were thinking it, you were thinking it. You were thinking it, you were thinking it. And now the bald person is the one who makes the jokes at the awards show. You just don't care either way is what you're saying. No, that's fine. What's your face? You're like... Don't feel so set upon, madam. Don't center this around yourself. That's the last thing you want to be doing. Right? Now, for the rest of you who are honest and enjoy authentic cuisine, the reason why I say this to you, madam, is because one of the greatest indicators that something is authentic is when people of the particular same extraction enjoy that cuisine. Like, how many times have you seen 4 Japanese people in a Wagamama's? That's what I'm trying to say. You know, you ever seen a Mexican in Chiquitos? I have not. And I'm just saying, like, a lot of people do that. You walk along, like, you know, the best Chinese restaurants got Chinese people inside. You walk along, there's Chinese people there, right? You go onto, like, you know, Brick Lane, the best curry house is gonna do one with the most Asian people in there. And I'm sure a lot of the time, people might walk past the Caribbean takeaway, see a bunch of black guys in there and be like, look, there's some black guys in there. Let's come back. I don't wanna cause any trouble. No, it's not, they seem very busy and I don't wanna. So, there you go. What's your favorite restaurant, madam, by the way, out of interest? Favorite restaurant? Huh? So I know, it's right. You're on the spot. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, just asking, you know, trying to do you a favor, bro. No. Are you guys together? Cool. I think one of the best things for me about being in a relationship is that that's someone to eat stuff with. Like, right? That's one of the best parts of a relationship. Like, the way a relationship works is that, can I look at this motherfucker while I'm eating and not made to feel sick? That's how you know, right? The reason I talk about food and dating is because I found out about something before I go and tell you this, because this kind of pissed me off. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but women have this thing called a foodie call. And basically it means they might go on a date with a guy they don't really like if the restaurant's cool. That's a laugh of acknowledgement, isn't it, madam? She said. Now, again, ladies, I'm not judging, but somewhat of a double standard. Because very rarely when you're a guy, does someone offer you a free meal with the possibility of sex afterwards. Like, you know what I have to do to get a free meal and maybe have someone fuck me for free afterwards? Go to prison. And I'm not going to prison. But the stereotype don't really help the act, so yeah. This has been a pleasure. If you have enjoyed what you heard, please do check out more of my content online. My name is Dane Baptiste. I'm also on Steph's Packed Lunch on every day on Channel 4. Yeah. Also, one more thing, because you guys have been amazing. I really appreciate it. I have a show on BBC called Bamus, like famous but with a B. It's on there now, but go on my social media and all the links are on my link tree. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody. Let me ask you guys a question. You ever seen a job getting stolen before?